page, you're going to see a poem. So this week, a lot on poetry. When you hear the word poem, or you hear the word poetry, what do you think of right away? What's the first thing that pops into your head when you hear poem, or you hear poetry? What do you think about? Isaac? Rhyming. That's a big one, isn't it? What else? Luke?
Hear that it's going to be funny.
Funny? Lots of times poems are funny. You're right. I love funny poems. Do you? Oh, yeah. What about you, Marley? Say that again. Column? Calm. Okay. Yes, sometimes they're very calming, right? To just to listen to a poem or to read a poem. Anything else you think of when you think of poetry? Or maybe when you look at a poem, what do you notice? Look at the poem in front of you. What are some things you notice that maybe are different from your normal readings? Grant? They have what? They have something at the end of the sentence. What do you mean by something? So you said there's something at the end of every sentence. What do you mean by that? Do you mean like what the words are like, or do you mean like commas, or what? What are you thinking? Oh, you meant commas? Okay, so there's a comma at the end of every line. Is that what you noticed? Okay, awesome. That's a good observation. Trevin, what'd you notice?
Water gaps. Like 3 periods.
Ooh, he noticed the 3 periods on the end of one line. Okay, so Grant noticed sometimes there's commas. Trevin was wondering, that's a good wonder question. I wonder why there are 3 dots, right? Is that your question? Good question. We might come to that in a little bit. Mason, what about you?
So last, only watching peacefully,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a period gap.
And then there's a period on that one. I wonder why the rest are commas, and then that one has a period. That's only one, doesn't it? Interesting. Tiffany?
I know why it only has 1 period.
Why do you think?
Because it's a poem and they only have 1 period, and that's at the end of it.
Okay. Did you guys hear that back there? She said that in some poems, what were you saying about that?
That there's only 1 period at the end.
Okay, there might just be 1 period. Maybe it's just one really long run-on sentence, right? Okay. Abigail, last thing, what were you going to say?
At the beginning of each word on the lines is a capital letter.
Ooh, do you guys notice that? The beginning of each line, there's a capital letter. Very, very good observations. These are all things that we're going to be talking about throughout the week because we're going to be working on this as well. So these are things we're going to have to learn in order to make our own poems. Okay? But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to read this poem that's sitting in front of you. I'm going to first read it to you. While I'm reading it, I want you to visualize what I'm reading. Who knows what I mean when I say visualize? What does that mean? Madden, what do you think?
You think that like you're in the story.
Okay, you think you're in the story. That's a great definition. What else? Jaden? You picture it in your head. You know what I like to tell kids? Okay, everyone, go like this. Movie in my head.
Movie in my head.
Yeah, so boys and girls, I like to think of it as like a movie that's going. It's playing in your brain. As you're listening, you're picturing it. You're seeing it happen right before you. Okay, so while I read, work on this word. What does that say?
Visualize.
Visualize. All right, here we go. Please follow along as I read. On My Nature Hike by Neil Levin. Lizard skitters on the path, Muskrat takes a rustic bath. Beaver weaves a home of sticks. Dragonfly does fancy tricks. Mallard glides among the reeds. Chipmunk rustles in the weeds. Turtle moseys through the mud. Whitetail nibbles on a bud. Eagle soars across the sky. Warbler sings a lullaby. I'm as quiet as can be, only watching peacefully. Were there some things in your mind that you were picturing? Perfect. Good. I see some lots of yeses. All right, here's what we're going to do. We are going to choral read this, so I want everyone to be following along. We're all going to read through it together now. All right, I want to hear all voices together. Ready? On a nature hike. Here we go. Lizard skitters on a path. Muskrat takes a rustic bath. Beaver weaves a home of sticks. Dragonfly does fancy tricks. Mallard glides among the reeds. Chipmunk rustles in the weeds. Turtle moseys through the mud. Whitetail nibbles on a bud. Eagle soars across the sky. Warbler sings a lullaby. I'm as quiet as can be, only watching peacefully. Good job. You guys sound great, by the way. Beautiful. All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you, in your small groups, you're going to turn and talk to each other, and I want you to talk about what pictures are you seeing in your mind. So tell each other what part you're talking about, and then tell them, what do you see? What is your mind creating at certain parts? Ready? Go.
I see a lizard walking having a glass of blood.
Alright, class.
Yes.
Good job. I heard some awesome visualizations. Some things that I heard. Trevin just brought up a great point. He was like, Miss Bosch, the word reeds, that was our vocab word last week. So he could picture what those reeds looked like and what they were doing because we talked about it and we looked at pictures and stuff, didn't we? Awesome. I heard some students, like Abigail was talking about how she could see all the animals doing their own thing, but they were all peaceful while they were doing it. They weren't fighting. They weren't attacking each other. So that was good. Zoe, she pictured herself right there with them, and she said that, she could feel the splashes, and she could feel like the scratch from the animals while they were playing. So she put herself right there in the setting, which was awesome, Zoe. All right, so I heard some really good visualizations. Well, we're going to take it one step further. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give each small group a part. You're going to take 2 lines of the poem, and you and your group is going to have to work together to act out your part. You have to come up with a plan of what it would look like if you were to act out your part of the poem. If you were those animals, or if you were in that place, what would that look like from what the poem told you? So what I'm going to do is when you're all done figuring it out, I am going to reread the poem, and when it comes to your part, you and your group are going to act it out. Okay? So get your pencils out and ready. Let me see. Perfect. All right. I'm going to assign your parts. The first 2 lines, the lizard skitters on the path, muskrat takes a rustic bath. That's you guys. So those 2 lines, so mark those 2 lines. Those are the 2 lines you're going to have to practice acting out. Okay? The next 2, beaver weaves a home of sticks, dragonfly does fancy tricks. That's your group. So you're going to have to figure out how to act out those 2 lines. Next one, mallard flies among the reeds, chipmunk rustles. That's you guys. Turtle moseys through the mud, whitetail nibbles on bud. All right, purple group, that's you. Eagle soars across the sky, warbler sings a lullaby. That is the blue group and the yellow group. All right? That is both of you together. And the last group, the last 2 lines. All right, you guys have kind of the challenge. You ready for it? All right. I'm as quiet as can be, only watching peacefully. All right, that's you guys. So, you're going to talk and work together to come up with how to act out your part. Wait. I'm going to give you about 4 minutes. So work well. Ready? Go.